Hénin-Beaumont is the stronghold of the National Front in France. And they sent me to that place in Hénin-Beaumont. Well. 5% of students have been lost.
Bless and welcome to the COVID-19 experience, where ORT looks primarily, but not exclusively, at the African diaspora's experience of living with the COVID-19 pandemic. Today we catch up with Henri, who lives in Lille in northern France. And apologies for some of the poor sound quality in this interview.
Thank you for taking part in this interview, but tell the listeners a little bit about Lille.
Yeah, so let's say Lille is in the northern part of France, yeah, on the border with Belgium. And Lille is, let's say, located 300 kilometers away from Paris, so which is, I think, 180 miles, yeah.
Okay.
By train. Northern part of France, so it's little history about it. Really like mining, it's mining history.
Okay.
So for us, when it comes to us, it's really like percentage of a lot of North Africans here and people from Poland mainly.
Yeah.
And a few Senegalese, let's say, few Senegalese also. And the recent wave, there's been a lot of influx of people from West Africa, from Guinea. Yeah. So yeah, when I moved here like 4 years ago, there was like youth, squatting in parks, in tents, and they've been evacuated by the police following the instructions of the mayor. And to my knowledge, most of those youth were from Guinea. Guinea.
Yeah.
So,
and Lille is near Belgium.
Exactly. Yeah. So Lille, you talk about Lille as a metropole, and you have cities like Tourcoing or Roubaix. So again, when I'm talking of the past, those cities were big in terms of industries, textile mainly. And now it's really, if you look at the stats, Roubaix is said to be the poorest city in France. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So drastic.
But at the same time, you have the richest guys, that controls the economy. So there's a family called Mullier. So they own, major businesses in France. So they live probably in the nicest spot of Roubaix, and they tend to send their kids to the, private school in Belgium, which is not far.
Yeah.
And Roubaix has got quite a bit of. I've met people from America. They look at Roubaix. It reminds them of the Bronx of the 80s.
Okay.
So,
and in terms of the demographic from North Africa moving to Lille, there is a big demographic, a large demographic of North Africans in Belgium.
Exactly.
And some of them became involved in the whole suicide bombing and were linked to the Bataclan attack.
Exactly.
I've been to Belgium many years ago, and I was really surprised how ghettoized they are in terms of being on certain projects or all by themselves. No other skin color around. I thought that was
So,
I want to talk to you today about your experience of COVID-19. How has it been for you in Lille?
Man, let's say just trying to be grounded and let's say quiet. Yeah. So the lockdown here started on the 16th of March. So I work in a school and I have to travel let's say, from Lille to a little town called Hénin-Beaumont. And Hénin-Beaumont is the stronghold of the National Front in France. Yeah,
Marie Le Pen.
exactly. That's a base, if you want. Yeah. So this year for me, it's just been a bit of let's say experience again, because I've just passed what they call the competitive national exam for teaching. So you have to do a year. Thank you, brother. So you have to do a year of training, yeah. And they sent me to that place in Beaumont. Well. So COVID-19 has kind of put a stop.
It sounds like they sent you there for further training.
Yeah. No, because I've had some visits and they've been let's say they've been good, yeah, so far. Because even for me, because I work in the vocational sector, so what I tend to do is just to spread the word to the youth in terms of differentiation, yeah, my point of view to them. So I always try to put a bit of cultural piece into that. So my experience so far has been like really stop and for me to be on behind my computer and carry on with my endeavor to try to broaden their horizon.
So you teach what, social studies?
They call it so secondary school, so vocational, and most of them are into boiler making and catering.
Okay.
Business, yeah.
Right.
So,
how you're teaching that then? No, you're teaching that through Zoom or Microsoft Teams?
Okay, so right now I'm just basically using, let's say, we have a sort of VLE type of thing, virtual learning also. And I haven't been really engaged into the face-to-face, more like sending pieces of information onto one platform to them and getting feedback. But on one hand, what I could say, even coming to us as a diaspora, so I've in some of my classes, I have, let's say, guys from Guinea, and for them to get connected, it's been really, really hard. And we can say that 5% of students have been lost.
Because they don't have the critical machinery.
Exactly, my brother.
And that's to do with money and demographics, I would think.
Exactly. And for me, I'm not really concerned because we've got some funny guys or funny school board being like, yeah, you have to chase them, being behind them. I'm like, make sure that them guys are able to eat, yeah?
Yeah.
First of all, yeah? And after that, you can try to nurture or do some...
Basic needs come at the top of the triangle.
Yeah.
It's interesting that I've seen some clips from Nigeria and a few other countries where people, in Jamaica, they've said, listen, we cannot obey social distancing because we have to get food for our children. We have no choice.
First thing first, yeah? It doesn't make sense, yeah? If your brain, if your body cannot nurture, your brain cannot function. And same thing, so now, 16th of March, that's when they started the lockdown. So now they've eased it up. So since the 11th of May, primary school are open.
Okay.
And 2nd of June, we're meant to go back also for the secondary school. But same thing, because I've been discussing with other colleagues. So some head teachers, they're not willing to open up their canteens, which is really unhuman to me, yeah? Because some kids are just basically also coming to school to get food.
Yes.
Let's be frank, yeah. Yeah. So those guys are like, yeah, you have to come back to get some, yeah, to read. But come on, sir.
So what do you think is driving that decision to not open the canteen? Do you think they know that some students will come in here primarily to get something to eat rather than to be educated? And so they're closing down the canteen?
Different factors, because for, let's say, some small schools, they don't have the, let's say, the facilities, so they're getting their food through other, let's say, schools in the area. So again, it's like maybe the logistic of doing that. They're like, okay, it's better to cancel it. And some others, they're also like, okay, we're gonna open up, but it's gonna be half of the service that we are going to provide also. So students are coming for maybe 2 days a week and half a day. So making sure that the canteen are not gonna be open in that sense.
Oh. And you've been in during this time?
Say that again, sorry?
Have you been in school during this time since the 11th?
Not so far. Just been in touch with some other colleagues, and one of them is a guy from Guadeloupe, which is West Indies.
Yeah.
And we've been talking, we've been reasoning together also.
That's where Thierry Henry is from.
Huh? That's
Thierry Henry is from Guadeloupe.
Yeah, Guadeloupe.
Yeah.
You know that one. Yeah.
And Will Ford, quite a few of the Arsenal players are from there.
Yeah.
You're listening to ORT's COVID-19 experience that looks primarily, but not exclusively, at the African diaspora's experience of living with COVID-19.
Organize, sit down, reason and talk.
This,
Yeah.
and we've been talking, we've been reasoning together also.
That's where Thierry Henry is from.
Huh? That's
Thierry Henry is from Guadeloupe.
Yeah, Guadeloupe.
Yeah.
You know that one.
Ford.
Yeah.
And Will Ford, quite a few of the Arsenal players are from there.
Yeah.
So what are the people in Lille saying about the lockdown, COVID-19, vaccines? What are they saying?
Split opinion. Yeah. Some guys who are, let's say, well informed, they like to know what's going on. They've been foreseeing this. Yeah. So reading from media parts. And if you, let's say, back in January, if you were to talk to your head teacher, they will just send you, let's say, send you off the whole wall, saying that you are kind of you are nuts. Yeah, exactly. And on the other hand, you have some other guys. Maybe I'm one of them also. Like, okay, let's see, polio. Ebola, Africa's been through a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing is coming. Okay, it's coming. Are you sure? Can you repeat that? Coming, huh? And with the, let's say, the contradictory information being given by the politicians. So we're really like, okay, just maybe some kind of tactics again to have more control on us, on our liberties.
There's a suspicion there.
A bit, because as you know, a lot of has been going on in France. Yellow vest,
Yep.
Stuff. Let's say also the pension and the retirement policies that they were willing to implement, and people were also like really, let's say, protesting before this COVID-19. So all this has been put on hold.
It's interesting you raise that point, because globally there is a suspicion that the whole housing market is oversaturated and the prices are far too high. They cannot sell to the younger generation. There isn't the work for life policy anymore. People's jobs are very precarious. They don't know how long they're going to have their job. A lot of companies have moved to Asia. If they haven't taken the head office, they've at least sent the labor to Asia. So there are forces that actually capitalism is doing. And COVID-19 is a means to reset capitalism. So it brings people to a more manageable level. And we have a generation, what we call the baby boomers, got good pension, their mortgage, and they're not going to lose
Exactly.
that can possibly benefit.
That's how we see it, and the, let's say, the conscience also, because some youth now that are not really aware of okay, what's going to happen to our pension in 20, 30 years. They're more preoccupied about, let's say, futile stuff that has been spread on social network.
Okay.
With the GAFAM. So it's also this conscious.
It affects the level of your ability to not only to concentrate but to have positive thoughts.
Yeah.
Very confusing. It just messes with your mind quite often. So
And,
within your circle and friendships between, because I know you have connections with Paris also.
yeah.
How have you been able to manage those relationships?
Okay, you know that in France, for us to move, so let's say during the lockdown, you had to fill in a form, if you wanted to move. So 1 mile radius from your place, and exception being made if you had to look after a relative. So that's what I've been filling in to check on my mom.
Okay.
And, yeah.
So within your home, you can move freely within, well, not freely, but you are allowed to go within 1 mile radius. But outside of that, you have to fill in a form.
You always have to fill in the form.
Okay.
And you have boxes, so giving like the reason why you are moving.
Even if you want to go to the supermarket.
You have to tell them.
Carrefour to do some shopping and.
Exactly. So for that, 1 mile, and time it also 1 hour. So for the supermarket, so there's no limit, for the duration. But let's say if you want to get your exercise, you have to tick the box, exercise, and it has to last an hour.
Where do you get the form from?
So the government has put it on their website, so you have to print it out or download. Or download it also, or put it on your phone and tick the, let's say, the convenient boxes. And that's also one of my, let's say, issue here. Like my mom is over 70. All this technology called madness going on, like quoting Giro de Damager. Not easy for some people to be printing pieces of paper all the time. And if you don't have the means to have a printer or to be connected, so yeah, exactly. And then they were harsh at the beginning with this. So like you've got spots in Paris or wherever, where people would just gather, like the youth. So police would be coming harsh on them, and the fine was like over 100 euros. So they make sure that the government get some out of this lockdown also. Exactly.
And how rigidly did they enforce the request to go out for 1 hour? Were people being stopped that you've heard of, or were you
Oh,
stopped?
yeah, yeah. So I was stopped going to Paris. So yeah, like for the, let's say, for instance, train station, they will make sure there will be only one entrance open, so they can check who's coming in, who's coming out.
Right.
Once you pass that one, out in Paris, again another set of checks, and random checks could have been done also. Like, okay, hello sir, you living, I don't know, South London. What are you doing in the West End? Type of thing, and they'll give you a fine if they think that your movement is not
Legitimate.
legitimate. Exactly,
Wow. It
which
sounds
is
like
crazy.
World War II. When Europe was being managed, by the Nazis and your movements. It sounds very similar to that type of situation.
We don't want to mention that, but well,
But when
and you have the
when you
announcement.
describe it, it sounds just like that.
Yeah, and from time to time, train station or wherever you are, even on telly, you have those announcement also. Wow, Twilight Zone, yeah, for real.
You ever heard of George Orwell and his book 1984?
No, exactly.
It seems to touch on so many themes within this lockdown thing.
Ignorance and fear. Yeah,
All right.
we totally, yeah, we totally into that.
Mm.
From my experience, also touching on that, like people also passing away, not fortunately not in my surroundings, but talking with brethren in Paris. So one of them works in this hospital. It's called Georges Pompidou in the 15th district. Yeah, kind of let's say posh, yeah, posh district. And he's been telling me during this pandemic, most of the let's say inpatients were us.
Black people.
Yeah, and I'm telling you again, this is Georges Pompidou, a posh hospital or a posh surrounding, yeah, of Paris.
So for those people who don't know France, Gare du Nord is a place where there's lots of Africans who look impoverished. Saint-Denis is another place where you see a lot of impoverished black people. But where you're talking about now, you generally wouldn't see black people up there.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Wow, and that's
It
yeah.
leads into a real suspicion. I was speaking to Sherry from London this week, and she was saying that there is a suspicion within our community that we're being called here.
Oh, you mean targeted or
Yes, like they
scapegoats?
just, if there's 30,000, by the end of this, they want there to be 5,000.
Yeah, and same thing. Looking at the news, like being from New York, London, or Paris, I'm like, what the heck? They never talk about us, and all of a sudden, we've got respiratory issues.
Yeah, man.
And the guys can run like a bullet.
Yeah.
And now we cannot breathe.
Yeah. It's really odd, and as well as to add to that, the uncertainty around what is causing the illness here. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but David Icke was the first person I said, listen, they are just labeling all the deaths as COVID-19. These people don't know. So this is masking the real cause of death. So what the real cause of death, if there is such a thing as a real cause of death, I'd be interested to know. But definitely, it's got our suspicions. Our ears are very much alert right now. What's going on?
And just hoping that, it's like a global also high opener
Yeah.
for us to get back together also.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, to be like, oh,
Yeah, man. Brotherhood, you know, the diaspora.
yes, oneness.
Yes, man, definitely. Listen, Henri, it's been great speaking with you.
Thank you,
I
brother
look forward-
Kush-I.
I look forward to speaking with you again, probably in about a week's time.
Okay.
But at that time, stay safe. Thank you very much for what you said. And just stay alert around what's happening in Lille so you can keep us informed. You are our eyes on the ground over there. Yeah?
Blessings, brother.
One love. Take care.
One love. Peace.
Included below are related links to this discussion. Please share, comment, and subscribe. And remember, talk the thing.